Hello, third grade. We're going to start our next writing assignment, and it's also going to be a new genre of writing. Earlier this year, we've worked on opinion writing, and we just finished working on narrative writing. Now we're going to move on to the third type of writing, which is informative. And our job is going to be to inform. That means to give information to the reader. So our first paragraph that we're practicing information writing on is going to be about Arctic foxes. So you can see this says, do not turn in before Friday. Your topic is to inform the reader about Arctic foxes. Today is Monday and you're watching the day one video. In this video, I'm going to show you how you're going to collect your research, because being an informative writer means you have to give true and real information. So we're going to research about the Arctic fox, and then we're going to type our hook and our topic sentence on our outline today. So let's go ahead and get started with your materials that you received for this week. You should have an Arctic fox information page as well as an Arctic fox fact page. So let me show you. Here is your information text. You need this. You also need the second page that is all about the 3 facts. So pause the video, go collect or grab those right now. Let's go ahead and get started with research. So again, pause the video if you need to go find yours. This is going to teach us all the information we need to know about Arctic foxes. You'll notice it's informational and it has headings. Headings are text features about informative writing or expository text. And each of these sections, we're going to end up creating our own detail from. So when we read this section, we'll write down the important key facts. Then after this section, we'll write down the important key facts, and the same with the last. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. An Arctic fox lives in the Arctic regions of the northern hemisphere. That means the top half of our world. It lives in northern Europe, northern Asia, and North America. Here are some interesting facts about the Arctic fox. Okay, this gave us some background information about where you can find them. So maybe we'll use this in our topic sentence or the hook even. So let me pause. So good readers, they go through and they underline important things. We're finding out in this paragraph all about where the Arctic fox lives. And they live in Arctic regions. The Arctic regions, like we said, were the northern hemisphere or the north or top part of our world. So they live all on this top part of our world. It could be northern Europe, northern Asia, or North America. Now, those are the details. Let's next check our heading, which is what are some of the Arctic fox's adaptations. So all about this section, we will learn and find out about their adaptations. Well, let's pause a second. We need to understand what the word adaptations are. So earlier, I opened up this definition. So this says, an adaptation is a special skill which helps an animal to survive and do everything it needs to do. That means that adaptations are those special changes that help it survive or live. They could be physical changes to its body, or it could be behavior changes in how the animal or even a society does things in their lives. So basically how it acts. So it could be something that it changes on its body or something it changes in what it does. That way it can survive. Adaptations are important because they help animals survive. So let's see how the Arctic fox has had adaptations to help it live. So I'm going to put over here, changes to help it live. Changes to help it live. Okay, an Arctic fox has many adaptations that help it live in the cold climate. Help it live in the cold. For example, to live in the cold, it has to have thick fur coat that is brown in the summer and white in the winter to help it blend into the snow. The Arctic fox also has fur on the bottom. So I'm going to put has fur on the bottom of its paws so that it can walk on the ice. Okay. Then it says the Arctic fox also has great hearing. It can hear small animals that are moving under the snow. So even though it cannot see them, things that are underneath can be heard by the fox with its great hearing. Then it jumps towards the animal and punches through the snow to grab its prey. So that is another special detail about what it does. It jumps towards them and punches through the snow to get the prey. Now let's grab that second page. It's important for you to remember we use this. These underline marks are going to be quick reference for you to go back and find your answers, especially if you're trying to type specific words that you might not know the spelling for. So I hope that you got all those underline marks. Pause if you need to. Okay, so in this Fact 1 section, I'm now going to write down, our directions on this page say to write down a fact. We're going to write down some key notes about the Arctic fox. So I'm going to put right here for its adaptations to be in a cold climate. It was really important for us to remember that the fox is in a cold area. And one thing that it has is it has that thick fur coat. And it changes color, right? That way it can blend in. Another special thing that it has was fur on its feet or on its paws. I'm going to put fur on paws. Here's one idea. Here's a second idea. Here's a third idea. The other important thing that we know about it is that it has great hearing. So we should make sure that when we write our paragraph about the Arctic fox, we mention all these special features that the Arctic fox has done so that it can survive in that awfully cold climate of the Arctic region. Now let's find out some information about the Arctic fox's diet. If you're still writing, pause the video, press play when you're done. All right, so the second heading reads, what do Arctic foxes eat? So here we're going to find out all about their diet. So add the word diet. Oops, and I misspelled that. Diet is D-I-E-T. Okay, so write all about, or let's read all about their diet. And I put the word diet there because I want us to use strong and powerful language when we're writing so that it really shows the reader but believes that we're telling true and real things. It shows in what we call credibility. It makes you it makes you a writer that readers know are doing smart things. Okay. Arctic foxes normally eat small animals. So I'm going to put normally eat small animals. These small animals include things like lemmings, voles, hares, fish, and birds. I actually do not know what a lemming is. I would have to look that up. But a vole is like a mouse. A hare is like a rabbit. And then we know what fish and birds are. They are also scavengers. Ooh, that's important to know about them. And they will eat dead animals that the larger predators leave behind. So that means they eat the leftover parts of dead animals. So a scavenger means that they will kind of like think of a raccoon. They will dig around and find what they're looking for. Arctic foxes also eat bird eggs, seaweed, and berries. So we should get that they eat bird eggs, seaweed, and berries. Okay, so now pause the video if you do not have these things underlined and written. Press play, and then you grab your facts. So now let's add some things that we just found out about the Arctic fox's diet. We know that they eat small animals. We know that they can be scavengers. And when they're scavengers, sometimes they will eat dead animals. We could maybe even say the types of things that they might eat. They might eat things like lemmings, voles, hares, fish, birds, eggs, seaweed, or berries. Okay, so that was quite a bit of writing, but this will be a really great tool to help you when you go and write your information paragraph. So pause the video, make sure you have this on there. No excuse for spelling, it's right there for you. Press play when you're done and we'll read how big are Arctic foxes. Okay, here. The last paragraph is all about how big they are. And that would also be like their size or their body. So add next to big, size, or body. Both male, boy, and female, girl Arctic foxes are different sizes. Okay, so we should know that the male and females are different sizes. The male is about 22 inches in length and weighs about 7 pounds. So that would be about 2 feet. I'm going to put that in parentheses. They're about 2 feet, not quite 2 feet. The female Arctic fox is about 20 inches in length, so it's shorter, and it weighs about 6 pounds. Oh, it's also a pound less. The Arctic fox's tail is about 12 inches in length. So if its body is almost 2 feet, its tail is about half the size of its body, and in most cases, the tail is a little bit longer than the actual half of the fox. So more of its body is tail than body. So I shouldn't have said more of its body, but if you take the entire fox, including its tail, more of the fox is tail than it is body. It's a lot of tail. Okay, so now let's come on over and think about the different things that we found. We found out about the males, and we know that they're about 22 pounds or inches and 7 pounds. We also found out about the females or the girls, and they were about 20 inches and 6 pounds. The last thing we found out about was their tail, and those are usually 12 inches long. Okay, pause the video if you need to. We now have our research. So now that we have all the information, we're almost done. This one is a little bit of a longer video, but you should be doing these things with me in the moment. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to check our directions one more time. We're going to type our hook and topic sentences for our outline. So let's go ahead. I have those open already. Here is my outline. If you needed to, you'll click them on the side of your activity. So right here, you'll click on this and open it. Pause the video if you need to get that open. So let's take a look. We're working on these first two sentences. What are we writing about? What is our topic? Oh, we're writing all about Arctic foxes. So we could say, let's think about this. It did not say it, but we could say that an Arctic fox is a mammal that lives in the northern Arctic regions. So think back to when we were reading this top paragraph. It was all about where the fox lived. That's what we're going to say. I'm going to say the Arctic, and when you spell Arctic, it's Arctic, Arctic, fox is, you could say, is an animal, is a mammal. I'm going to be more specific and not just say animal. I'm going to say a mammal, mammal, that lives in the northern Arctic, capital A for Arctic, and region. Okay, don't forget to stop, with a period. Oh, I just noticed I have some blue underlines. Let's see what it says. The Arctic fox is mammal. Oh, I need to put is a mammal. I'm going to click that. That's what I wanted. Okay. Is a mammal that lives in the northern Arctic region. Okay. I have my topic sentence. You are now to type your topic sentence. You're going to state something general about the topic, something general about the Arctic fox. Don't give away strong details. Don't tell about its adaptations. Don't tell about its food and diet. Don't tell about its size. So you should now have that. Pause the video, type your topic sentence, press play when you're done. Last thing we're going to do is type our hook. You can ask a question, you can do an onomatopoeia, something shocking, a fact, or a riddle. I'm going to ask a question. Have you ever heard of an animal that changes its fur color? The Arctic fox does. So there's my question. I gave it an answer. Notice when you type the word Arctic fox, it is lowercase letters. They are not capitalized. It is not a proper noun. So you even saw that on your article. You can make a question, an onomatopoeia, a shocking statement, a fact, a riddle. Please get your hook in. If you choose to ask a question or give a riddle, be sure to answer it right after. When you are done typing, that is it for today. Don't click turn in. So again, here's your reminder. You just watched this video. We collected all of our research together today. We learned about the Arctic fox, and we made our hook and topic sentences on the outline. That's all, friends. I'll see you tomorrow.